They do me wrong, and I will not endure it. Who is it that complains unto the king that I, forsooth, am stern and love them not? By holy Paul, they love his grace but lightly, that fills his ears with such dissentious rumors. Because I cannot flatter and look fair, smile in men's faces, smooth, deceive and cog, duck with French nods and apish courtesies, I must be held a rancorous enemy. Cannot a plain man live and think no harm? But thus, his simple truth must be abused with silken, sly, insinuating jacks.
My lord of Gloucester, I have too long borne your blunt upbraidings and your bitter scoffs. By heaven, I will acquaint his majesty with those gross taunts I often have endured. I had rather be a country servant maid than a great queen with this condition, to be thus taunted, scorned, and baited at. Small joy have I in being England's queen.
Oh, and listen to be that small god, I beseech him. Thy honor, state, and seat is due to me.
What? Threat you me with telling of the king? Tell him, and spare not. I dare adventure be sent to the tower. 'Tis time to speak, my pains are quite forgot.
Wild devil, I remember them too well. Thou killedst my husband Henry in the tower, and Edward, my poor son, at Tewkesbury.
You were queen, I your husband king. I was a packhorse in his great affairs, a weeder out of his proud adversaries, a liberal rewarder of his friends. To royalize his blood, I spent mine own.
Aye, and much better blood than his or thine.
In all which time, you and your husband Grey were factious for the house of Lancaster. And Rivers, so were you. Was not your husband in Margaret's battle at St. Albans slain? Let me put in your mind, if you forget, what you have been ere this, and what you are, and what I have been, and what I am.
Oh, murderous villain! And so still thou art.
Poor Clarence, forsake his father Warwick, and forswore himself, which Jesus pardon.
With God revenge!
To fight on Edward's party for the crown, and for his meed. Poor lord, he is mewed up. I would to God my heart were flints like Edward's, or Edward's soft and pitiful like mine. I am too childish, foolish for this world.
Oh, hie thee to hell and leave this world, thou cock-a-demon. There thy kingdom is.
My lord of Gloucester, in those busy days which here you urge to prove us enemies, we followed them, our lord, our lawful king. So should be you, if you should prove to be our king.
If I should be, I had rather be a peddler. Far be it from my heart the very thought thereof.
As little joy, my lord, as you suppose you should have, were you this country's king, as little joy may you suppose in me that I enjoy in being queen thereof.
A little joy enjoys the queen thereof, for I am she, and altogether joyless. Oh, I can no longer hold me patient. Hear Hear me, you wrangling pirates, that fall out in sharing that which you have pilled from me. Which of you trembles not that looks on me? If not that I am queen, you bow like subjects, yet that by you deposed you quake like rebels. Ah, gentle villain, do not turn away.
Foul, wrinkled witch, what markest thou in my sight?
But repetition of what thou hast marred, that will I make before I let thee go.
Weren't thou not banished upon pain of death?
I was. But I do find more pain in banishment than death can yield me here by my abode. A husband and a son thou owest to me, and thou a kingdom, all of you allegiance. The sorrow that I have by right is yours, and all the pleasures you usurp are mine.
The curses that my noble father laid upon thee when thou didst crown his warlike brows with paper, and then, to dry them, gavest the Duke a clout, steeped in the foulest blood of pretty Rutland. His curses then, from bitterness of soul, are all denounced upon thee, and God, not we, hath plagued thy bloody deed.
So just is God to right the innocent.
Oh, 'twas the foulest deed to slay that babe, and the most merciless that e'er was heard of. Tyrants themselves wept when it was reported. No man but prophesied revenge for it.
What? Were you snarling all before I came, ready to catch each other by the throat, and turn you all your hatred now on me? Did York's dread curse prevail so much with heaven that Henry's death, my lovely Edward's death, their kingdom's loss, my woeful banishment, could all but answer for that peevish brat? Can curses pierce the clouds and enter heaven? Why then, give way, dull clouds, to my quick curses. Though not by war, by serpent die your king, as ours by murder to make him a king. Edward, thy son, that now is Prince of Wales, for Edward, my son, that was Prince of Wales, died in his youth by like untimely violence. Thyself a queen, for me that was a queen. Outlive thy glory, like my wretched self. Long mayst thou live to wail thy children's death, and see another as I see thee now, decked in thy rights as thou art stalled in mine. Long die thy happy days before thy death, and after many lengthened hours of grief, die neither mother, wife, nor England's queen. Rivers, you were a stander by when my son was stabbed with bloody daggers. God, I pray him that none of you may live your natural age, but by some unlooked accident cut off.
Hath done thy charms, thou hateful, withered hag.
And leave out thee. Stay, dog, for thou shalt hear me. If heaven have any grievous plague in store, exceeding those that I can wish upon thee, let them keep it till thy sins be ripe, and then hurl down their indignation on thee, the troubler of the poor world's peace. The worm of conscience still begnaw thy soul. Thy friends suspect for traitors while thou livest, and take deep traitors for thy dearest friends. No sleep close up that deadly eye of thine, unless it be while some tormenting dream frights thee with a hell of ugly devils Thou elvish marked, abortive, rooting hog, thou that was sealed in thy nativity, the slave of nature and the son of hell, thou slander of thy heavy mother's womb, thou loathed issue of thy father's loins, thou rag of honor, thou detested
Margaret!
Richard!